Thank you guys so much for joining. Welcome back to the channel. And we are here to do a review of The Last of Us episode 6. And this episode is called The Ties That Bind. So there wasn't a whole lot that happened this episode, but it was really some strong points. But I got to talk about it, man. Phenom 202, what's going on, brother?
Phenom 202, DDA representative. Yo, this episode had its highs and lows, some interesting aspects of it, and then there's some like WTF parts of it, yo. So,
Okay.
so let's get into it, man.
All right, man. We're going to get into it. We're going to keep this a really short recap and review. Overall, Joel is looking for his brother. Joel has now, eventually, after 3 months with Ellie, they've definitely bonded a little more. Time has passed, and eventually they wind up finding the camp where Joel's brother is, and Joel winds up finally finding him and realizes that things aren't as bad as he thought it was. Actually, they're living damn good. So I was very happy to see that he finally met a brother. Of course, Joel was, but then he wasn't as happy because his brother wasn't ready to leave as Joel was hoping he would, because Joel was on that save situation. So what are your whole thoughts on that, Phenom?
I do like how you have a little Christopher Columbus attitude with Joel. He didn't discover the camp.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was taken to the camp. You know what I mean?
Because that's right. He was.
He gets surrounded by people on horses, and they have a dog that can sniff out the virus. Yo,
isn't that crazy?
It was crazy. I was interested. I'm like, oh, how's he gonna get out of this one?
Yeah, me too.
Sniff Joel, nothing. Sniff Ellie, nothing. I'm like, how is that possible? We need more information on that.
Well, she has the antibodies in her or something.
Yeah, it could have been. And then, Shorty on the horse is like, yo, what's your name? My name's Joel. She knows the name Joel. Takes him back to the camp.
Yeah, and he finds his brother. Then after he finds his brother, of course, it basically goes into a whole situation on like, yo, come with me, blah, blah, blah. Of course, his brother's like, yo, I'm good, Joel. I'm good. I don't need to come. He's like, I need you to come with me. He's like, but I'm good. Plus, I can't come anyway. I got a child in the way. In this whole situation, though, Joel gets pissed. Yeah. And later on, he starts to even tell Ellie, later on, he even starts to tell his brother why he really was hoping to find him, because he's got to get Ellie to this campsite to help find this cure, because he doesn't think he can make it. And this is disturbing, though, because I'm wrapping up a lot here, but then Ellie winds up overhearing that and gets upset that Joel wants to leave him. But this is a pretty strong dynamic here, because Joel meets his brother and he clearly is pissed at his brother, and he actually gives this ultimatum to his brother, like, I need your help one last time to take it to this camp because I can't make it. And Ellie finds out and is upset about it. And what are your whole thoughts on this, Phenom?
The whole Joel and his brother's dynamic, I either felt bad for Joel, and then I got pissed at Joel at the same time. Because you ain't seen your long lost brother, but it's also kind of like a parent. You might get lost and come home. You got the whole neighborhood looking for you, and then they find you, and your parent like, oh my gosh, I love you. Oh my gosh, I'm mad, and they want to beat your ass because you made them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
That's exactly what it felt like. You see, made him looking like, how you almost gave me a heart attack. I can kill you right now.
Right.
But I mean, Joel is losing confidence in himself. Like, you can tell, like, even during the episode, he was falling. Like when he met the native family that had been living there. They got the story of, hey, don't go by the river.
Yeah,
there's only death by the river. So and he was kind of scared then. He fell asleep at the campsite with Ellie.
Yeah.
And then he goes talk to his brother, and he said he doesn't have any confidence no more.
Yeah. He talks to his brother, and he really is just giving him all the information. Like, I'm not going to make it. Like, I'm supposed to do this for Tess, but I almost got my ass kicked and killed by a 14-year-old, and she had to save me. And there's no way that I'm going to make it to this, and I need you to help me. And this is when Elle overhears that and gets mad at Joel, because like, yo, you're another one that's abandoning me, because she finds out that he lost his daughter. And so she starts putting two and two together, like, okay, now I understand why you are the way you are. And Joel doesn't like the fact that he brings that up, but she's like, look, you've had loss, I've had loss too, because people abandoned me. So look, you got to help me. And she made a good point.
She did, and that's why I got super pissed at Joel. Because how you gonna tell somebody that your loss is not as great as my loss?
Yeah,
and you don't know what she's lost. I mean, she's lost her childhood.
Yeah.
Who's her parents?
We don't know who her parents exactly. We have no idea who her parents are.
None of that stuff, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and the thing about it is, like, even like Joel was all over the place this episode, man. Like, even to go back to his brother, like when he told his brother, like, Ellie is special. She got that cure, that the blood, she's immune. The brother was real skeptical. He was like, he's like, no bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
he said, I seen her get bit, and it's been months since then. So I mean, you're right. He's definitely up and down, but that is all based off how he's feeling too.
Yeah.
Like, he's not the same Joe he used to be. He's slowly coming out of that old Joe. He has more compassion and more heart. So he's more afraid of losing Ellie because of what happened to his daughter. And of course, then the next morning, I'm thinking Joel is out of there because his brother shows up to take her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, Joel bounced. So they go to the stable, and that's where Joel is. And like, look, I was going to leave, but I decided to stay. You have a choice. And she didn't even give him 2 seconds. She was like, come on, let's go.
Yeah, so, all is forgiven in that, man.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think his brother was kind of, I wonder what the conversation was with his wife, though.
Yeah.
Like, how you going to say, yo, I'm dipping real quick?
Yeah. I'll be back in a week.
Who got the super blood. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that did not go well.
No, I mean, the thing about it is we don't know how that conversation went because we never saw it.
Yeah, we never saw it.
Yeah, so Joel and Ellie saddle up, going to the university.
Yeah, 5 days. They connect a lot more on this trip, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and they arrive at the facility. They see the little butterfly stamp on the sign.
Yeah,
and a whole bunch of laboratory monkeys running around.
Yeah, and no fireflies.
No fireflies. Just a bunch of laboratory monkeys.
Finally get there, and it's abandoned. And they're like, fuck, what the hell has happened? They get to the facility, shit's all over the place, medical equipment, just nothing. Nobody's there, no fireflies. They even have guard stations with no guards. So they're like, okay, we got to be on alert now because this is not good. So they start going through, and of course, it's just a bunch of fucking monkeys there, just having their way with everything. And it's kind of messed up because they finally get where they're supposed to go, and nobody's there. And right when they're about to leave, they start seeing some people coming, and they're like, fuck, we don't know what's going on.
Scavengers,
some scavengers are coming because they've seen the horse, and he's like, okay, we got to get out of here because we're coming. And as soon as they walk out the joint, they're getting on the horse, and that's where Ellie's like, look out, Joel. And this guy swings with the bat. And I thought it was an aluminum bat, but it was a wooden bat because this happened so fast. He stabbed Joel and didn't even know it, because Joel winds up getting around his neck and taking, making quick of him. But then you find out that the piece of the bat broke off, and it's in his stomach, and he pulls it out, and it's like, oh shit! What, I didn't even expect that. What were your thoughts when you saw that whole joint? Or let's go. What were your whole thoughts of when they finally got to the facility and there wasn't nothing there? And
so how did they? Well, my question to you is, how did they know where to go after that?
Well,
I couldn't remember how they.
Well, they told him where it was. Like, he asked his brother, and his brother was like, "Yeah, it's this direction. You get there in about a week." So that's when they finally arrived. That's when she's like, "Oh, hey, we got here in 5 days. Not that bad." Because he told them where to go. He's like, "Just go this way, and you'll run into it. You can't miss it." So he said it was like past it. Yeah.
They arrived at the facility. How did they know to go to the next spot?
Now that I don't know. I think that's just editing. They just cut that shit up and was like, okay, you're here now.
So we're not here, so we don't go to we know where they are. I mean, that never came across in the dialogue.
True. Yeah, they're just on a horse walking, and they just show up there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even with Joel getting stabbed, I mean, like they took too long to get to the horse show. Like that was my thing.
Come on, really?
So, man, we need to get up. We need to get up out of here, yo.
There got to be two people. I mean, I thought it would look pretty good in real time. I mean, I don't know, but
like he's sitting there, like looking around. I mean, Ellie supposed to be on lookout.
That's what you said it. Now that's what I thought about. I was like, if Elle is supposed to be on a lookout, why does she not see this guy until he was right up on Joe?
Right up on him, and he had no footsteps or nothing. Yeah. But I mean, though he gets stabbed, and we'll see next episode. If we find out what happens. Yeah. the crazy thing about this whole episode, there was some little tidbits that we can kind of jump in and out of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you said, they got it made there,
They did.
They got a movie theater.
They got an AMC.
They got a country store. They got a little Walmart up in there, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Electricity, running water, hot water. They taking showers. I mean, come on, yo.
Yeah.
They celebrating Christmas.
Yeah.
Man, they got it made, yo.
But it's crazy because when I watch this, it's hard not to compare this stuff to The Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got Alexandria or wherever they ended up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it just shows the resilience of humans. Like, we know how to build stuff. Like, we figure out how to build stuff and get stuff to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought this episode was like really cool. And I like Joel and Ellie's dynamic in this. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know we talked in past reviews how, shout out to Hollywood, he's like, should be boring, yo. It's too much exposition.
Too much exposition.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's get to the good part.
Let's get to the good part. Yeah. But I mean, it was a solid episode.
I thought it was super a solid episode too. Yeah, I thought it was a solid episode. See, and I didn't mind the exposition that was happening earlier on between Elle and Joel because I knew the transition of that relationship. So you can see how they are now compared to where they were in the beginning. And you see they're starting to have more of a dynamic. And I really enjoyed this episode because you're seeing why they're both scared.
Yeah.
Ellie is scared of losing Joel. Yeah. Joel is scared of losing Ellie. And they both are needing each other to get through it because even when Joel gets stabbed, Ellie is panicking. Like, I can't lose you, Joel. I don't know what to do. What in my life? I don't know where to go. And Joel's in bad shape. This dude is in bad shape, man. I don't know what's going to happen to him in this.
It's crazy because like it was one part where he was confiding in his brother. He was like, yo, I couldn't even protect Elle with Ellie. Like they said the dog on I just froze. I didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So he's definitely in bad shape, man. But yeah, I mean, he's going to get it together. I mean, obviously, he's not going to die because this episode, the show will be over with.
Right. But, I don't know how many episodes in this series actually.
I think 8 or 9 or something like that.
Yeah. So we're at I think next episode might be the penultimate episode. So let's see. Last of Us. How many episodes? Let's see how many they say here.
9.
9 episodes, yeah.
9 episodes.
Okay. So we're getting close.
So what was your before? Because I want to get your rating on this episode.
Yeah.
But then I want to talk about something else.
Okay. All right.
So what did you? I give this episode out of 10. I give it a solid 7.
I'm right there with you. I give this episode a solid 7. It's a solid 7. There's nothing wrong with the episode. It's a good transition episode, getting you where you go. You get a lot of emotion and some action at the end, but it's a solid episode. It's very well done. So yeah. 7 for me too, across the board.
Cool. All right. So we get a backstory with Ellie, yo.
Yeah. Looks like we're getting a backstory. I
think this is a deviation from the comics. I mean, from the game.
From the game, which is really cool. I love how they do that because this clearly is going to show when she was in the mall and how she got bit, how she came across getting bit, and all of this is starting, which this is brand new. This is definitely a deviation from the game of showing us a preview.
I love it.
I love it too, yo. I love it.
Man, this is the type of stuff that we need. Like, we're gonna give some backstory on characters. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. I mean, we might be dating ourselves. Y'all might know this show, Oz. Remember on Oz, yo? Like how everybody, how everybody ended up in jail? You know what I'm saying? They give them a little snippet of what happened, how they got there.
Right.
We kind of I like that type of stuff with the characters, man. You know what I'm saying? It gives you a reason why they're there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It fills in the backstory. Mm-hmm. Like even in The Walking Dead, they did stuff like that. Like even with Negan. Like you saw how Negan turned because you know why he turned, because his wife died.
Because his wife died,
He's trying to save his wife. Because she had cancer. He was doing whatever he could to do it. So them pivoting back into Elle's past to see how she was in school and the dynamics that happened in there and how she got bit. Oh, I'm ready to see this episode, man.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a fantastic episode. This is a deviation from the game, and I'm ready. I'm loving it, yo. Because I'm like, yo, it's open book. It's a clean slate. They can do all kinds of shit on this episode. So it's going to be really good. You get much more rich backstory history on Elle and just how this all started, man. So this is going to be exciting, man. This is going to be exciting. I'm ready for it, yo.
Yeah. So another question is, you think Pedro got paid the 600,000 for this for the next episode? You know he ain't gonna
Even though
be
he's not in it.
Or he might be in
Good
it for 5 minutes,
question.
show. You know what I mean?
They may show one clip of him in 5 minutes. They gave him 600,000. Hey, you never know, man.
Yeah.
He probably did. He probably did because
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
Now,
man,
I'm not even mad at the placement of L's backstory. Like,
I
you know,
think
we're
it's a perfect
autographing.
spot.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A little reprieve to, and then it's gonna keep. You got to know in episode 8
Yeah,
what's going on with Joe.
I think it's a perfect spot because after we just saw what happened to Joel, we're like, oh snap, what's going to happen? And it's going to take us right back to the beginning of L, where we've never been before, and then it's going to go back to where we were. So I love that. I love that, and it's going to be really good. It's going to be really good. So I'm excited. I'm excited about it. So you give it a 7. I give it a 7. Solid episode. And that's where we are, man. Anything else you want to touch on?
That's it, yo. I mean, look, the show's getting better.
Oh, absolutely.
It's getting more consistent, I believe. You know what I mean? So, yo, shout out to HBO for even picking it up, man. I mean, I'm happy so far, yo.
Yeah, same here. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this episode and this recap of episode 6, The Last of Us. And as always, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel as it helps the channel grow. My name is Corey Roy. That's Phenom202. And as always, we'll be back at you with another review. Peace.
Yep.